Atlas Reporting for Microsoft Dynamics CRM, Single Cell Reporting, Lesson 2 of 6. Outline. These formula-based functions are used to return a value, numeric or text, into a cell or contact control in your document. This powerful feature allows you to easily build complex, free-format style reports that meet your personal reporting needs as well as those needed for your organization. Using Microsoft Excel's recalculation methods, the values in the cells that contain these functions will be refreshed with the latest information. Furthermore, any dependent formula functions will automatically refresh as the source cells change. Once built, these functions operate like any other formula function found in Microsoft Excel. All functions in the Atlas reporting system are built and delivered through a task pane experience. These task panes exhibit common characteristics which include data source selection, table selection, and fields. Your objectives. At the end of this chapter, you'll be able to identify the three format functions, value, text, and lookup. And you will begin to understand how the three format functions are built and used, how to edit reports that use these functions, how to use the common characteristics of the report building system panes. What is a data source, a data table, and a table field? How to add fields to a single value or query or report. How each of these three single cell functions are built and used. How to use these functions with other Atlas functions. And what is meant by data sources and tables. Scenario. Because the functions of the Atlas reporting systems are delivered using task panes, it is important to understand their structure and characteristics. With this in mind, you intend to demonstrate these to your students from the sales team by getting some aggregated values from the Business Dynamics CRM tenancy and displaying them in your Excel workbook. The following list represents your agenda. Beginning a new report or query, data source selection, single cell reporting styles, locating and adding fields. You'll now begin your lesson. To begin to familiarize yourself with the characteristics of the Atlas planes, open up the Dynamics CRM Introduction to Reporting workbook. Select cell C10. From the Excel menu, select the Atlas 6.1 tab, and from within the Insert group, click the New button. The Atlas New Option task pane should now be open. The task pane opens, and there are some basic characteristics for you to observe. You will note the title, the object type, and the table type. The task pane aligns for the following steps towards a particular reporting option. In some cases, you will be required to enter a report title. This is generally the case for lookup and cache reporting options. In the following lesson, you'll be working with the single cell values to update the total sales last year and the sales to date. You'll also save the snippets for later use. Select the Overall Accounts tab from within your Atlas 6.1 Introduction to Reporting workbook. Click to select cell C10. Click to select Value, and then click Next. Selecting a data source. In this step, you will nominate from which data source the result set will originate. The list of available services is determined by the services set up in your Atlas Management Studio and your associated privileges. Click to select the Dynamics CRM service, and then click Next. Now you will select a table from your data source. This step is used to select a primary reporting table for your Atlas reporting object. Reporting tables can be views or tables in their own right. All tables are added to the list shown. They do not appear on the list automatically. You can search for a table and add it as it's needed. Adding data tables to your suggested tables list. Adding the tables you frequently work with to your suggested table list removes the need to search for that table each time you wish to use it, therefore reducing the time and the steps taken to create your Atlas reports and queries. Click the Accounts table again, and then click Next. You will now prompted to select the fields you wish to add to your report from the Accounts table, choosing which fields to be used in your report. Use this step to specify the output you want. Select the fields you wish to include into the report. Depending on the reporting function, the list of fields to choose from will vary. For the value function, only numeric values will be available, and those shown by default are those numeric fields from the account field group. From the accounts table, search for the annual revenue base name field. To do this, type annual in the search area. Tick to select the annual revenue base from the list showing by placing a tick in the corresponding box. Click the X at the end of the search entry to close the search, and then click Next. Ignore the filters section for this time, and then click Next. Now click Insert. Your total sales last year in cell 10 should now have updated to reflect the current annual revenue for all the accounts. Continue to update the sales to date value. Click on cell E10 of your trading book, and from the Excel menu, select Atlas 6.1. From the Inspector group, select New. Double-click the single value reporting type. Select your data source, Dynamics CRM. If you save the accounts table suggested table, it should be displayed in the list below. Double-click to select and use the accounts table name, or click once and select Next. If you save the accounts table to your suggested list, it should be displayed in the list below. Double-click to select and use the account table, or click it once and then select Next. Search for the Open Revenue Base field by typing in Revenue into the search text field. Select the Open Revenue Base field by placing a tick in the corresponding box. Close the search by clicking on the X at the end of the search input field, and then click Next, and then click Insert. The sales to date should now be updated and displayed in cell E10. This concludes Lesson 2, Single Cell Reporting. Lesson 2, Recap. Application of the single value function. The value function is not often used in isolation. It is used in conjunction with other Atlas functions to form a report. Typically, you will find many value functions, each accepting slightly different inputs, are used in building an Atlas report. You can use the value function in the following instances: where you want to sum or count a single numeric field from a data source, when you want to apply simple mathematics to two or more numeric fields from one or more data sources, when you want to return a single numeric amount from your business systems based on none, one, or more filter expressions, when you want the amount figure to change dynamically as filter inputs from other cells change, where the format of your report does not change in structure each time the report is run, where you want to have the ability to drill down on the amount to explore more detail, where you want to do an ad hoc inquiry to quickly resolve simple or complicated questions, where you want to build a dynamic report in Microsoft Office Excel and publish to Microsoft Office 365 to be rendered read-only. Example report structures include summary reports, balance sheets, forms, status reports, income statements, and cash flows. Application of the text function. This is used primarily to return a non-numeric field, multiple fields, or a label associated with a code. The code is usually an account code, customer code, vendor code, or a dimension name, but can be any attribute from any table in your business systems. Use the text function if you do not wish to retype the description of a code each time it is changed in the spreadsheet. Text will only find the first record matching any filter expressions you provide. As the text function is implemented as an Office formula function, it can be refreshed on demand or whenever any reference cells containing the code changes. Uses for the text function. Text function is not often used in isolation. It is used in conjunction with other Atlas functions to form a report. Use the text function in the following instances: where you want to provide a name or description for a code in a report, where you want to include the text from a number of fields into one cell, for example, to build a customer address, where you want to return a label for a given field that might be included in one of your reports, where you want the description or name of a code to change dynamically as the filter imports from other cells change. where you want to provide a link between two sets of data sources. For example, during upload of free text invoices, you will need to link the lines to a posted header record. This can be done by showing the record ID of the header. Where you want to include a name or description in conjunction with the table reporting functions of Atlas, such as a list or summary. For example, for a list of ledger transactions, use the text function as a managed column to return the vendor or customer name to which the transaction relates. When you need to make a table report more readable. Key points. This section introduced the task pane interface of the Atlas reporting system. In particular, you learned that reporting system functions exhibit a common set of characteristics. These are data sources, single value reporting, and fields. All reporting functions are designed using the task pane interface. The following was also learned. Data sources contain tables. You can select from Microsoft Dynamics AX, Dynamics CRM, SQL Analysis Server, Cubes, or any other external database. The table step of the task pane is used to select the primary reporting table or view, sometimes referred as an AOT view. You can do this by double-clicking, making the table current for the data source and the reporting function. You can add and remove tables and AOT views from the table list. Search features are available so you can easily find tables and AOT views in your system. You can add or remove fields to form the basis of a report. Fields can be set as invisible and are then used for calculations or data merging. Fields can be selected from the primary table or from a related linked table. Default lists of fields is determined by the auto report group of the selected table. Application and use of single cell value and single cell text value reporting. This concludes Lesson 2, Single Cell Reporting.